I stood frozen on my front steps, my coffee growing cold in my hands, as I watched a scene unfold that no parent should ever have to witness. The president of our homeowners association had her hand wrapped tightly around my daughter's arm, yanking her forward like she was an object, not an 8-year-old child with metal braces strapped to her legs. "You're slowing everyone down," the woman shouted. "Move faster." My daughter cried out in pain. And in that moment, something inside me snapped. What Elaine Carter, the iron-fisted head of the Brookstone Meadows HOA, didn't know was that she had just laid hands on the daughter of the state attorney general. And that was the worst mistake of her life. But before we get there, let me tell you how this nightmare began. The school bus arrived on Cedar Lane at 7:42 a.m., right on schedule, just like it had every weekday morning for the past 3 months. My daughter Lily sat near the front, second row, window seat, her purple backpack hugged against her chest. The morning sunlight reflected off the metal supports wrapped carefully around her legs. Those braces were the reason she could walk at all. 2 years earlier, a drunk driver ran a red light and shattered our world in a single violent moment. Lily survived, but only after months of surgeries, endless physical therapy, and learning how to walk all over again. Her father never lived to see that strength. He had been killed while serving overseas when Lily was only 4. Since then, it had just been the two of us, learning how to survive together. And despite everything she had endured, Lily never complained. Not once. She smiled. She adapted. She pushed forward. School became her safe place. She loved her teacher, Ms. Alvarez, adored her classmates, and proudly showed off her braces like badges of courage. The bus driver, Mr. Reynolds, always waited patiently and gave her a thumbs up as she carefully made her way down the steps. That Tuesday morning looked no different, until Elaine Carter appeared. I watched from our porch as Lily slowly walked down the driveway, gripping the bus handrail just like she'd practiced 100 times. She was halfway home when I saw her. Elaine Carter stormed across the street like she owned the air itself. Perfectly styled hair, designer sunglasses, clipboard tucked under her arm like a weapon. She didn't greet me. She didn't greet the bus driver. She went straight for my child. "Excuse me." Elaine's voice sliced through the quiet morning. Lily stopped, confused, turning around carefully. "Yes?" she asked politely. "Your bus is violating HOA policy," Elaine snapped. "Commercial vehicles are not allowed to idle longer than 2 minutes. And your condition is delaying everyone." I felt my chest tighten, but I stayed still. I had raised Lily to speak respectfully, even when adults behaved badly. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Lily said softly. "I'm going as fast as I can." Elaine's face hardened. "That's not my problem," she said sharply. "Rules are rules. If you can't keep up with normal children, maybe you shouldn't be using the bus at all." That was when my blood started to boil. But before I could move, Elaine grabbed Lily's arm. Hard. "Come on," Elaine barked, yanking Lily forward. "You're making people late." Lily stumbled, her braces scraping against the pavement as she fought to stay upright. "Stop," Lily cried. "You're hurting me." Her voice cracked. I dropped my coffee. I don't remember crossing the yard, but suddenly I was there, my hand between Elaine and my child. "Get your hands off my daughter." Elaine turned, startled but not ashamed. "Are you her parent?" she scoffed. "You should teach her proper discipline. She's disrupting the neighborhood with these special accommodations." I gently pulled Lily into my arms. She was shaking. Her tears soaked into my blouse. "Ma'am," I said, my voice calm in the way only prosecutors know how to be, "you just assaulted a disabled child on private property. I suggest you walk away." Elaine laughed. "Assault? Don't be ridiculous." I was helping her move faster. "This community has standards." I looked down at Lily, brave, trembling, and trying not to cry. And I made a decision. "What's your name?" I asked quietly. "Elaine Carter, president of the Brookstone Meadows HOA." I nodded. "Thank you," I said. "I'll remember that." She had no idea what she had just done. After walking Lily back to the bus and reassuring her through tears and hugs, I went inside, and closed my office door. Then I did what I do best. I investigated. Elaine Carter wasn't just an HOA president. She also owned Carter Residential Management, a company overseeing multiple HOAs across the county. And as I dug deeper, the pattern became clear. Disabled families fined into bankruptcy. Veterans harassed over service animals. Elderly residents threatened with foreclosure over minor violations. This wasn't control. This was systematic discrimination. And my daughter wasn't her first victim. She was simply the one who changed everything. Elaine Carter thought the incident was over. She believed I was just another angry parent, someone who would complain to the HOA board, maybe write a few emails, and eventually give up. That night, my daughter Lily barely slept. Every time headlights passed our window, she flinched. "Mom," she whispered, rubbing her arm where Elaine had grabbed her. "What if that lady comes back tomorrow?" I knelt beside her bed and looked her straight in the eyes. "She won't," I said firmly. "I promise." And I never make promises I can't keep. The next morning, I personally walked Lily to the bus. Elaine stood across the street, pretending to water her perfectly trimmed roses, watching us from behind dark sunglasses. When our eyes met, I didn't glare. I smiled. The kind of smile that had broken hardened criminals during interrogations. 2 hours later, my assistant knocked on my office door. "Ma'am," she said quietly, "the FBI is here to see you." I already knew why. Special Agent Rachel Kim and Agent Daniel Ortiz sat across from me, folders stacked thick with evidence. "We've been investigating Carter Residential Management for months," Agent Kim said. "Disability discrimination, abuse of authority, housing violations." I nodded. "She physically assaulted my disabled daughter yesterday," I replied evenly. Agent Ortiz exhaled sharply. "That matches 17 other complaints we've documented." 17. Families too afraid or too broke to fight back. "We'd like your cooperation," Agent Kim said. "Federal charges on our end. State-level prosecution on yours." I folded my hands. It would be my honor. 3 days later, Brookstone Meadows held an emergency HOA meeting. I attended quietly, sitting in the back. Elaine arrived like she always did, confident, loud, untouchable. Until the accusation started. Daily fines against disabled residents. Threats of foreclosure. Selective enforcement. Elaine snapped back at every claim until I stood. "I'd like to ask," I said calmly, "what the HOA's official stance is on physically dragging disabled children at bus stops." Elaine froze. I raised my phone. Our security camera recorded everything. The room fell silent. As State Attorney General, I continued, "I must also inform you that Elaine Carter is currently under investigation by federal and state authorities." Gasps echoed. Elaine's power evaporated in seconds. The board voted unanimously. She was removed immediately. The footage aired the next morning. News vans lined the street. Former HOA president accused of assaulting disabled child. Elaine refused to comment. But the evidence spoke loudly. Federal indictments followed. Civil rights violations. Assault on a minor. Abuse of power. Conspiracy to discriminate. Each charge carried years behind bars. The governor called me personally. "We're backing you fully," he said. I answered simply, "Good." 6 months later, the courtroom was packed. Elaine sat stiffly, no clipboard, no authority, just fear. Lily testified via video, her voice small but steady. "She pulled me really hard," Lily said. "It hurt. I didn't know why she was mad at me." Jurors wiped tears. Medical experts explained how dangerous such force was. 17 families told their stories. The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Elaine Carter was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison, followed by probation and millions in damages. Her company was dissolved. Her control was gone. Months later, I received a call from the new HOA president. "We renamed the community center," she said. "It's now the Lily Inclusion Center." That night, Lily traced her name on the sign. "Does this mean kids like me belong?" she asked. "Yes," I told her. "It means they always did." Elaine sent me a letter from prison. I didn't read it. Lily runs to the bus now, braces shining, head held high. And on my office wall hangs her drawing. Friends come in all different ways. That is why this fight mattered. The story's over, now let's get real. Imagine standing there on all that land, every inch legally yours. If you were in the owner's shoes, what would you do? Let them stay, sell the homes, or pull some other wild move? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see who's the boldest.